Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
I'm still not making one.
And whoever gets it right is going to win the Monte and the Pharaoh Ulafala, and you will become king.
Oh, goody!
Oh my God, are those all the people in the Rumble?
I always wanted.
No.
I always wanted to be the dead at the table. That's great.
But you could be the head of the table. But here's what I'm going to ask you guys. All right, you're going to give me who's going to win, who's your dark horse, but you got to give me the story behind the winner.
I don't know. You go first,
Coach.
right?
You're up first.
No, wait a minute. You go first, Mike. It's your stupid. All
right.
Let's predict what Tony Soprano, whether he was killed or not.
All right.
I mean, go ahead.
Okay, so this is what we're going to go with, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
This is Monty's prediction.
Here we go. Here comes
Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Here's the story behind it.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is then the following week, like they always do at Raw or SmackDown. Who are you going to challenge? Will it be Gunther? And by the way, I'm going to make a prediction that Gunther will not be the world champion by Royal Rumble time. That Jey Uso is winning it on Saturday night's main event. But let's table that.
Okay. Got a lot to table so far, but go ahead.
When Roman wins the Royal Rumble and he comes out to SmackDown or Raw, I don't know which one he'll appear on to make his announcement.
Right.
He'll be interrupted by Paul Heyman.
Right.
And Paul Heyman will have to explain to him that he signed an agreement with CM Punk.
Yep.
And that CM Punk has now asked for his spot in the Royal Rumble. Now, don't hold this against me. I don't know if CM Punk will buy his way into a triple threat or he will just take Roman's spot, which I'm going to lean towards that he will take Roman's spot. And Roman will have to find his way to a main event through Elimination Chamber. How The Rock falls into this, I don't know.
What is Roman's main event at WrestleMania?
That's the thing. If he goes to Elimination Chamber,
there has to be a conclusion.
And he wins, and Jey is the world champion at that point, he will challenge Jey. Okay. I don't know where there's a possibility The Rock I don't know how that falls into place.
Right.
So that's the tricky part of my whole thing here.
Okay.
If you're going to give me a dark horse, my dark horse will be CM Punk. That's my dark horse. Who's up next?
I'll give it a shot. I think that Roman Reigns does win the Royal Rumble. I think he picks Cody. I think this is a trilogy. I don't know if that's going to be popular or not. I don't know. Do I think that that's what's going to happen if The Rock's not involved? If The Rock gets involved, to me, business-wise, if I'm thinking business-wise, I want The Rock versus Roman Reigns. It doesn't have to be for a title. They're both so over, it doesn't matter. So there's that possibility, right, Mike? So you've got the business possibility. You got the probability that Roman should win because Roman should somehow be involved in the main event at WrestleMania. To me, logically, if he is, it includes either The Rock or Cody. Okay, so there's that issue. I agree with you. I think that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. And I also agree with you that somehow before WrestleMania, Roman Reigns is going to wind up having a belt that means something. Maybe it's Gunther, maybe whatever it may be. But Punk's WrestleMania dream has to happen. He was brought here for that. So to me, logically, CM Punk should either win the Royal Rumble or call in that favor when Roman is champion and have Paul fucking represent fucking Punk and turn on Roman. One way or the other, what is the favor? CM Punk has made it very clear that he's one of the reasons, he hasn't said it, but he has said it, that he's back is he wants that WrestleMania main event moment. It's not going to be next year. It's not going to be the year after. It's going to be this year. Roman Reigns also, there are 2 nights. Roman Reigns also has a main event spot, to me. So I think Roman's going to wind up fighting Cody, which means Roman should win the Royal Rumble. Punk's going to somehow call in a favor and get a world title shot against Gunther or somebody. He's going to be involved in the main event. But I think that Roman Reigns is going to win the main event. Punk could be the dark horse, but believe it or not, my dark horse is Drew McIntyre.
Wow.
Because Drew McIntyre is due. He's due something.
Jimmy, can I add on to your story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Roman wins the Rumble.
Okay.
He challenges Cody night one.
Right.
Wins it.
Right.
And somewhere before that match, CM Punk says to Paul, if your boy wins that match, I want a title match.
I love it.
Night 2.
Not even night 2. I want it right now. I want
it
right now.
Night 2, dude. You can't double up, right?
No, well, what would night 2 be? Night 2 wouldn't have main event worthy anyway. Isn't that how it's worked?
It's usually 2 main events, but think about it this way. I'm not saying.
There's
I'm just trying to add on to your
main
story.
Event. You know what I'm saying?
That second
main
event
I love
would
what you're saying. I love what you're saying, but I think that there's always got to be something.
But the
night
thing
2.
is, they don't have to both be for the belt. That's the tricky part.
Well, The Rock, if it's The Rock, which I think Mike wants the most, right, Mike? You still want The Rock, don't you?
Yeah. I definitely want.
I think The Rock Roman Reigns speaks for itself.
That would be phenomenal.
You know, like The Rock turning on him, that it really belongs to me. You know, he could swerve in a second. The Rock is great. If we get The Rock, please don't give me Dwayne Johnson again.
But right now you're going Roman, Drew McIntyre.
If I'm pressed to a wall, it makes sense that Roman would win it. But what is Punk's favor? And Punk has to get to the main event of WrestleMania.
Right.
It's going to happen.
All right, Coach, you're up.
Let me start with 2 things. Number one, I hate the fact that the Rumble winner is guaranteed the title shot at WrestleMania.
Why?
Well, here's why. Because
Okay.
I think it limits the storytelling ability and it limits the amount of people who could win.
Well, it pigeonholes who the guy's going to be for the next several months.
Right. We talked about it.
Everybody else is served up as fodder for the champion in the meantime.
Well, wait. To be fair, before you go on, Coach, you got to remember this. Elimination Chamber always plays a part in it. So
that's right.
Even if someone wins it, like it allows someone that you may not think to win it. They're just throwing that out.
I just think it's made it, it's shrunk.
What was the last
time
that
were really able to win the?
What was the last time that happened though? Elimination Chamber. True. I mean, Roman helped.
Well, they get I guess with Lesnar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But that's Lesnar. We don't have any Lesnars.
Yeah, true. and let me throw the second part. The part I cannot figure out is what role the favor is going to play. That's the part that's just
the big question.
Now, let me say this. I think the debut episode on Netflix, the way that The Rock was presented there, tells me he's not going to be a part of this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because of commitments. I think they're going to push that into the summer when he's available.
Right.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
Right.
Now, Roman Reigns is the most likely candidate here. Let me just be slightly different and say I think what will end up happening, my pick would be CM Punk.
Okay.
They have to get him.
He's got to get to WrestleMania.
His main event.
What's the favor?
And
well,
that's
wait a minute.
the part
Let
I
me
can't
ask that
figure
question.
out. Okay.
Who's Punk choosing? Gunther?
Well, don't forget.
Cody?
That's a great question.
Here, it could be either. Here's the thing to remember. They love their video packages in the WWE, right? They love their standoffs. They love their face-to-faces. We have a great one from about this time last year. Maybe it was right after the Rumble. Or maybe it was right before the Rumble. There was a great one with Cody and Punk.
Oh, God.
Remember? I'm more CM Punk than you are.
Right.
I'm more Cody Rhodes than you are.
Right.
It's there. Now, I can't figure out the dynamics of how that plays out yet, but I'll just say, because I think they need to make sure Punk gets his main event, I'll say Punk for the Rumble. My dark horse is Cena, and I don't like it, but I could envision a scenario, and I actually hope this happens somehow, where somehow Cody Rhodes is made to turn heel. Because I think if they do it right, he actually could be a fantastic heel. And I think it has to be against Cena for that to happen.
Yeah, but
I haven't spelled this one out, but they could. I think the Cena thing's too early. I think we've talked about it before that it needs to be later in the year when he makes his run at the championship. He needs to be knocked down, knocked down, knocked down, all these chances.
I'm thinking Money in the Bank type of
Right,
thing.
right,
He wins
right.
the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, like he gets close at the Rumble and somebody screws him. He gets close
Right.
at Elimination Chamber, somebody screwed. Like it needs to be that. So my dark horse would be somehow they pull the trigger on Cena early and use it as a vehicle to turn Cody heel. Maybe just because I'd like to see what that looks like, but that'll be my dark horse.
So I'll ask you. So Jimmy explained to himself pretty well how he thinks it possibly could come out. So my question to you is, if Punk wins and you don't know who he's challenging, but we'll say Cody, where does Roman fall into this then? If you don't think The Rock is in WrestleMania this year,
A lot of that's going to depend on Elimination Chamber, like you said earlier. They could
do
tell
you
a second.
do you guys
story
think
there.
Jey Uso is dethroning Gunther on Saturday night's main event?
He shouldn't.
I agree, he shouldn't, but
He shouldn't.
as soon as you said it, I went, that makes a hell of a lot of sense
Boo.
in the way they want to do things.
Boo.
So I could see it.
I can see it. I can see it too. Boo.
Remember, if he
like it.
wins Saturday night's main event, it leaves a Royal Rumble really even more open, right? Because then
I'll tell you what, though, Mike. On a business level, you got your two main events, one for each evening. You've got Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and you've got The Rock and Roman Reigns on Sunday, or vice versa.
That would
There's your
perfect.
There's your blueprint. Work everything underneath.
well,
That's-
listen,
that to me,
I definitely
know.
heard what Coach said about The Rock, and I'm starting to
Right.
lean towards what Coach is doing because we're running out of time. Everybody thinks
Right.
there's a lot of time. There's
Right.
no time here. But the
Right.
one thing that makes me think maybe The Rock is hanging around because he keeps now calling himself the High Chief,
Right.
right?
Right.
Not the
Yeah.
head of the table,
Yeah.
but the High Chief.
The storyline is not over.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the
I agree.
storyline is over. I do think that we are going to see The Rock, and to me, on a business level, it makes sense for CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble, challenge Cody. The promos will be killer. The match will be killer. And that's night 1 or 2, whichever way you want to do it. And night 1 or 2 is Rock and Roman. You're set. You've got your blueprint. Work your way down. There's plenty of talent. Figure it out. Rollins hates everybody. McIntyre hates everybody. Figure out what the best matchup is.
But we're talking
Sheamus wants to win the Intercontinental title. Maybe he finishes his quest at WrestleMania. Work towards
But
it.
we're talking timing here. Let's think about this.
Right.
There's a favor that has to be called in. You can't extend the favor now if he wins the Rumble. Right now, that favor means nothing. Right?
That's why Roman should, like I said, I agree with you, should win the Royal Rumble because of the favor. What's the favor?
Yeah, here's the other reason I think Punk could be it. They obviously want to get him this main event. If Punk wins the Rumble, he's got that main event locked up. They can be a little careful with him for 2 months.
That's too safe.
No, because he has shown himself to be a little plastic in his
he
old
is
age.
plastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right. It's too safe for me. I'd rather see Roman win, and then what's the favor? Build up the favor.
The favor could be, that's the wild card that I just can't
I would love
see.
it if Roman winds up winning the trilogy. I mean, me personally, I would book it, and some people would love it, some people would hate
Jimmy,
it.
I totally get it, but if let's think about it this way: you, me, and Coach running the WWE, and you bring that up,
yeah,
I would say but I don't think we could do it. I just don't think.
I will say the building would explode.
Here's my explosion for you.
Yeah.
Now that you said it, I'm going to go with this. Like I had said, Roman wins. The favor gets called in by Punk, and that favor is a triple threat against Cody. Right. So now you have a trilogy on a triple threat. Now, what's night 2? Night 2 is Jey Uso. Right. On fire. He could actually be night 1, and night 2 would be that triple threat match, right?
What happens
Jey
to
Uso would be.
Go ahead. What happens to Rollins? Where's Rollins in all of this? Rollins is going to be
Rollins.
Rollins
is going. That's what I'm going to say right here. Rollins is going to be the guy that knocked Punk out of the Royal Rumble, right? He's the one that's going to put him out, right?
I could see it. I could see that.
Or
does
Rollins wrestles Jey Uso.
Does Rollins ultimately get the belt off Gunther before WrestleMania, and we got Rollins Punk in night 2's main event?
I'm gonna stick with Jey Uso being the champion into WrestleMania, and it could be Drew McIntyre Jey, it could be Seth Rollins Jey. I don't know.
Right.
It's very interesting, and again, Let me ask you this, you guys, before we call it a night. If John Cena wins the Rumble, is that a bad thing?
It wouldn't be my favorite outcome, but here's the thing that I have come to in the last year since Triple H has taken over this thing. As much as I've tried to predict everything that I've come up with, what Triple H has done has been way better. And so I'm of the opinion that, you know what, if Cena wins it, I just believe that somehow Triple H is going to tell me a story that I love somehow about it.
Well, let me ask you this. We forgot about the women. Who's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble?
That one's a lot tougher. I think it's got to be between Becky or Charlotte, and both of them are going to be back for the Rumble.
Wow, yeah, you called Charlotte out. You know what? That's a tough
I think it has to be because I
think, get Charlotte Rhea again at WrestleMania.
Yeah, God, I hope so, because that's one of the best matches I've seen in years. But I think they purposely made these switches of these titles to set up how they're going to play the Rumble and everything else. They made sure they got Rhea in there for you've got a story with Becky, because Becky had that title after Rhea. A lot of people forget that. She actually had it, then Liv got it from Becky. Or you have, obviously, the Charlotte story being out for a year. I don't think either of them go after Stratton, but they're going to tell a different story there. But I think if I have to pick, I'll take Charlotte Flair. I think she wins it coming back.
Jimmy, what are you thinking?
That's a tough one. I would say Charlotte, but that we're really gonna have another rematch. We're gonna have the Rhea Charlotte deal again.
It was a great match a couple of years back. It was probably the match of the night, I think.
Yeah. Well, if Charlotte returns, I find it hard to believe she gets eliminated over Becky, even Becky.
But she's been out a long time. She's got to be pretty rusty, right?
Yeah.
The beauty for her there is the Rumble is it's an easier match to work if you're rusty.
Yeah.
And it allows that same protection I talked about with Punk, and that it gives her time to get rid of some of that ring rust before WrestleMania.
If I got to get this in, Mike, if Cena wins, it's premature. It needs to grow. His quest. He's only got this calendar year. You need to build up the emotion, the chase. It's not the kill. It's the thrill of the chase. We've said that over and over again. That's what really, really works. It's the chase. And there's no chase yet. I don't feel a chase.
Wouldn't that be the best story?
I want to feel it. I want it to grow. I want to actually start to go, and you know how I feel about John Cena. I want to actually start to go, you know what? I hope this motherfucker pulls this off. I want them to take me to that moment. We're not there yet. If he wins, to me, it's premature ejaculation.
Wouldn't that be the best story if he's one of the last 2 or 3 in the Rumble? If it's him and one other guy in the chamber, it would be so much better. Maybe they do it.
They need to build it.
I agree. It would be great.
If they're going to do it, they need to build up the compassion to have everybody pulling for him. And it can be done.
It needs to be later in the year, so there's
it's way too early. He's got to take a lot more losses, and then get a miracle win to get him a title shot, and then he wins that belt, right? Then it's believable. Someone just takes it off him at the end, and we say goodnight. Here's the last one. Who turned on Jade Cargill? Who's that going to be? Because we know Jade right now. It was still too. Here I am using wrestle. Sorry, Bubba Ray Dudley. She's too green. They're still working with her. They probably pulled her out because they felt like, you know what, you're not coming along fast enough. We had to keep you in this tag team. Let's pull you out of this. Let's work with you some more because we want you at WrestleMania, right? In a singles match that's going to mean something. So who was the one that turned on Jade Cargill?
There's 2 people that make a lot of sense. Naomi makes sense. And Bianca Belair makes sense. And look, we've said from the very beginning of when they put her and Bianca together, they did that for the money match, which is Bianca and Jade. We've all known it. We all know it's going to end up there. Them doing this angle to me sets up a perfect way to fire up that feud. We're going to somehow find out that it was Bianca Belair for whatever reason, jealousy, this, that, or the other. But
Like,
it's going to have been Bianca Belair.
What's the story she's going to tell, Coach? Like, what was the reason?
I think it's just, look, here I am. I've been the star. I've won the Royal Rumble twice. I've been the champion. And then this Jade comes in and she thinks she's the big, star, and everybody's fawning all over her. And then I have to sit here and be in a tag team with her. And, I'm the star. It might be Bianca's heel turn. I'm curious to see if she can be a heel. But
she was a good heel in NXT.
Yeah, well, that's true. I hadn't thought of that, but I think that's it. I think it's a jealousy of this person who was born on third base, if you will, and that I'm reestablishing myself, and you're not on my level. I'm the star here. I'm the EST, and it sets off what could be an excellent feud with those two. So,
Jimmy, what are you thinking?
Well, I hope it's not Naomi, because Naomi's boring. Even if it was Naomi,
I agree.
It'd be exciting for like a week and be like, what? The bottom line is, and we've said it before with Naomi, join the bloodline and be part of their thing. Otherwise, there's really no hope for you. You're okay in the ring. You're good. Blah blah blah. But you're boring. You don't really do anything for me. Belair's got every reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She was on top of the game. She was the main event. She was fucking big time. And she could easily cut a promo where, I put you on my back. I took a back seat for the company and for my own individuality to put you over. Fuck you. The end. Let's go, Miss Powerful. I'm more powerful. I'm just as powerful and more athletic, bitch. Slap. Hair slap. I could see it. I think it'd be fantastic. I'd much rather see that.
By the way, how about her lifting refrigerator jacks the other night?
Unbelievable, dude.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I am such a big Bianca Belair fan. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. But, Coach, I want you to tell the fans out there, how can they see more Coach?
Well, God, that's a scary proposition. But no, if you want to, check out our show here, we're on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida here in beautiful Panama City Beach. And, we're definitely going to get you guys back on. Always love having you on. We do, and the Tube Socks. We do the afternoon underdogs in the afternoon. And then I'm also on the Coach James Hale show in the morning. Not that anybody saw any of that because we were looking at Tube Socks. But no, absolutely. And we're definitely going to have you two on before the Royal Rumble. And we're going to have as much fun as we've always had. Always love having you guys on the show.
And I want to thank everybody for joining us this Thursday night. Coach, you were incredible. Jimmy, you was great as usual. I want to thank everybody in the room. We love you all. Jimmy, you want to send us out?
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh with the Coach. And until next time, later.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.